Have you ever wondered how information gets from one place to another inside a computer system? Think about a big company. It might store its daily sales information in one place, but it needs to analyze that information in another place to make smart decisions. Moving data is like moving ingredients from your pantry to your kitchen counter so you can cook a meal. It's a fundamental step in making data useful. We move data to combine it, to study it, and to unlock the important stories hidden inside of it. This process helps businesses understand their customers better, improve their products, and plan for the future. To help us move this data, we use special tools. Let's talk about the three main tools for our project today. First, we have Oracle. Oracle is like a very organized, traditional library where businesses have stored their important information for many years. It is called a database, and it is very good at keeping data safe and structured, handling day-to-day transactions reliably. Second, we have Snowflake. Snowflake is like a modern, massive warehouse built specifically for data analysis. It's designed to be super fast and flexible, allowing you to ask complex questions about huge amounts of information at once. It lives in the cloud, which means it can easily grow as your data grows. Finally, we have StreamSets. Imagine StreamSets is a friendly robot that you can program to pick up books from the Oracle library and neatly deliver them to the Snowflake warehouse. StreamSets is a tool that helps you build a pipeline to manage this data movement. It lets you see the data as it flows, so you can make sure everything is moving correctly and fix any problems along the way. It's designed to make the complicated job of moving data much simpler and more visual. You don't need to be an expert coder to tell this robot what to do. So, what exactly is a data pipeline? A pipeline is simply a set of steps that data follows to get from a starting point to an ending point. In our case, the starting point or source is our Oracle database. The ending point or destination is our Snowflake warehouse. The pipeline defines the path and any transformations that happen in between. For example, maybe we need to change a date format or remove a column before the data arrives in Snowflake. The pipeline handles all of this automatically, ensuring a smooth and consistent flow of information, just like a water pipe carries water from a reservoir to your home. Before our friendly StreamSets robot can start moving data, it needs to know where to go. This means we first have to give it the correct addresses and keys for both our Oracle library and our Snowflake warehouse. This process is called setting up a connection. Think of it like programming your GPS. You need to enter the exact starting address and the exact destination address before you can get directions. In the world of data, these addresses include things like server names, usernames, and passwords. Getting these details right is the very first and most important step in building our pipeline. Let's start with Oracle. To connect StreamSets to your Oracle database, you will need some specific pieces of information. This usually includes the server's host name or IP address, which is like the street address of the computer where Oracle lives. You'll also need the port number, which is like the specific apartment number at that address. Finally, you will need a valid username and password that have permission to access the data you want to move. In StreamSets, you will find a special section for creating connections, where you can enter all of this Oracle information into a form and test it to make sure it works. Next, we need to do the same thing for our destination, Snowflake. Connecting to Snowflake is very similar, but the details are a bit different because it's a cloud service. You will need your Snowflake account URL, which looks like a web address and is unique to your organization. You will also need a username and password for a Snowflake user who has the privileges to create tables and load data. Additionally, you'll specify the target warehouse, which is the engine that will process the data, and the database and schema where you want the data to land. Just like with Oracle, you enter these details into StreamSets to create a secure connection. Once you have successfully created and tested both the Oracle and Snowflake connections, StreamSets will save them for you. This is a huge time saver, because you won't have to enter all of those details again every time you want to build a pipeline. You can simply select your saved Oracle connection or Snowflake connection from a list. This makes the whole process more efficient and less prone to errors. Now that StreamSets knows where to pick up the data from and where to drop it off, we are ready for the exciting part, building the actual pipeline. Now we get to the fun part, designing the path for our data. In StreamSets, this is a visual process. You get a blank canvas, which is like a digital whiteboard, and a palette of tools. These tools are called stages, and each stage has a specific job. For our simple pipeline, we only need two main stages, a source stage to read from Oracle and a destination stage to write to Snowflake. Building the pipeline is as easy as dragging these stages from the tool palette onto your canvas and then drawing a line to connect them. Our first step is to configure the source. We will drag the Oracle JDBC Query Consumer stage onto our canvas. This stage is designed to fetch data from Oracle. Once it's on the canvas, we need to tell it what to do. We'll click on it to open its configuration settings. Here, we will tell it to use the Oracle connection we created earlier. Then, we need to provide a SQL query. A simple query like tells the stage to grab all the columns and all the rows from the customer's table in our Oracle database. This query is the specific instruction for what data to pick up. Next, we need to set up our destination. We will drag the Snowflake destination stage onto the canvas. This stage knows how to talk to Snowflake and load data efficiently. After dragging it over, we will connect our Oracle source stage to this new Snowflake destination stage by drawing an arrow between them. This arrow tells StreamSets that the data coming out of the Oracle stage should go directly into the Snowflake stage. This visual link represents the flow of our data. It's a simple, clear way to see the path our information will take on its journey. With the stages connected, we now need to configure the Snowflake destination. We'll click on the Snowflake stage to open its settings. First, we select the Snowflake connection we set up in the previous step. Then, we need to tell it which database and schema to use, and what to name the table where the data will be stored. We could call it, for example. A great feature here is that you can often tell the destination to automatically create the table for you if it doesn't already exist. This saves you from having to manually set up the table in Snowflake beforehand. Before we tell our pipeline to move thousands or millions of records, it's a good idea to run a small test. StreamSets makes this incredibly easy with a feature called Preview. The Preview mode lets you see a small sample of your data as it flows through each stage of the pipeline. When you click the Preview button, StreamSets will connect to Oracle, run your SQL query, and pull in a handful of rows. It will then show you exactly what that data looks like as it leaves the Oracle source and what it will look like when it enters the Snowflake destination. Using the preview feature is like tasting a recipe before you serve it to your guests. It helps you catch any mistakes early. For instance, you might notice that a date is in the wrong format or a number is being interpreted as text. You can see the data at every step and make sure it looks perfect. If you find a problem, you can pause the preview, go back to your stage configurations, make a change, and then run the preview again. This cycle of previewing and adjusting is a powerful way to build confidence that your pipeline will work exactly as you expect when you run it for real. Once you are happy with how the data looks in the preview, you are ready to run the pipeline. Running the pipeline is different from previewing because it processes all the data, not just a small sample. In StreamSets, this is often called starting the job. When you start the job, StreamSets will activate the pipeline, connect to Oracle, and begin pulling all the data specified in your query. It will then continuously send that data over to Snowflake, loading it into the table you configured. You can watch this happen in real time on a monitoring dashboard. After successfully running the pipeline, the final step is to verify that the data has arrived safely in Snowflake. You can log into your Snowflake account and run a simple query, like to see how many rows were loaded. You can also select a few rows to inspect them and compare them to the original data in Oracle. Seeing your data appear in Snowflake, clean and correct, is a rewarding moment. You have successfully built a bridge between two powerful systems, enabling new possibilities for data analysis. You have mastered the basics of moving data with StreamSets.